everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival. It's been 6 months since the last episode, and at this rate, next episode's going to be about a year. I'm kidding. This series has a special place in my heart, and I need to work on it. I really want to work on it, and I've been doing it with these builds. And holy, let me just say something. When you take a break 6 months after you've started something, and then you come back to it, and you're not a fan of it, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of it completely. It's a cool shaped build. If I go into F4 mode here, so we got this nice structure, right? It's very weirdly shaped on purpose. It's almost like this is a wizard tower, which we may change into a wizard tower, to be honest. But if you look all the way around, yeah, it's like the idea of this thing. It's not bad. I like this. Honestly, what I would change, coming back to the drawing board, is I would change these to spruce stripped logs instead of dark oak. And these would be stripped spruce, or not, no, these be stripped dark oak logs, basically. So that is something I'll probably do between episodes, because I just did this last episode where I just adjusted these and then took a 6-month break and came back. We have this place in here, though. Lots of things have updated at least a little bit since the last episode, clearly because of 6 months. We got these guys breeding over here. We got little guys over here. We're starting to do a trading, I don't know, I'm not going to call it a trading hall. It's like a temporary trading hall. We're going to do this for now so we can get mending eventually. But I remember last episode I talked about how we would try to, I don't know if we want to make a massive giant tavern, but I've been thinking about this world, and I've always done building where I'm at as kind of my style. So like I never really have a big game plan of what I want to do, and it always ends up evolving into a castle. I want to build a castle. I do. But that's not the main, I mean, that's probably going to be a couple episodes off. Clearly, we're going to need to get resources. We don't even have elytra, guys. We really need to start grinding. But you'll also, if you have paid attention to my Twitch, I did do a stream where I went all the way over yonder, that direction. If we go to the portal, actually, let's take a look real quick. We made a simple skelly farm because we need an XP resource, because I mean, if you're looking at all my stuff, like I have no mending, I have no like form of XP grinding. It's not pretty, by the way, just so y'all know. I didn't work on the beautification of this, but we have a skelly farm and it's somewhat functional. The only downside is I can't do a dropping source. So if I go all the way down here, right? We're at bedrock. So you can kind of see my problem is that we don't have enough resources. I mean, we don't have enough drop distance. I mean, I could pull them into a water source all the way up and then drop them down. That could be something we do. But we have a skelly farm here. Maybe we might do some designing today. I think a majority of today's episode, though, we're going to be focused on building and don't die. We're going to be building a blast furnace super smelter area, but it's going to be a super smelter forge house. I already have the design, but I also want to take care of some of the terrain over here, because we go to F4 again. This place is a little rough, and something that's been, I mean, Blonde Skunk has been always inspiring me about this, like line of sights. This is something I don't do enough of. And we got some decent lines of sights here. Got a nice little house here. Got a nice little house here. And it's not the same design, I think I want to put the forge up here. The forge up here. Oh, that's not the button. I hit F5 by accident. Oops. So yeah, I'm not sold on it yet. But we also have this giant mountain here. We need to take this out. we really need to start work on that. So I'm gonna get to some resource gathering, and you know what? What we might do? Let's start off with a nice little time lapse of taking down this mountain. That was quite the extensive terraforming. A lot of work was done here. So much work that I think majority of it was like 2 hours at least of cutting down this mountain, and then 2 more hours of just kind of getting the layout and kind of smoothing this out a bit. Unfortunately, the replay for this part of it just didn't work. I don't know why. It just didn't. I don't know if the file corrupted or something, but yeah, I just wasn't able to salvage that. So you mostly saw this and then some of this. So, and you'll also notice, this is something I need to work on. I'll probably do it between episodes, or we'll do it next episode. We'll kind of cove this in here, or like just cut it down or something like that. So that's the idea. But what we will put here is a blacksmith house. I want to start using builds, like basically just having purposes for builds. Why can't I sleep? Oh, is it not night? Well, it's not night. Purposes for builds, because we have this house here, and I don't technically have a purpose for it. I need to kind of figure that out. I built this here. I don't want to just be willy-nilly building houses, because you know, if you end up doing that, then you end up like not using any of the space inside of them, and it just becomes, I mean, it's nice to look at, which is great, but it's always important to just maybe, how did I do that? It's always important to have purposes for your builds, and I think that's always crucial. This will be a blacksmith house, and I think it'll look pretty nice here. It'll also make sense because it's behind the mountain, or in front of the mountain, not behind the mountain. You'll just do like a little walkway up here, and then you have the blacksmith here. We could probably put, if it doesn't work with the interior of the house, I don't know how big of a space you need for blast furnaces, but we're going to just try it. We're going to try and see if we can just use the interior space. Maybe we can put a blacksmith or blast furnace in it. If it doesn't work, we can always do it underneath and then have the storage for it up here as well. So yeah, it's a little bit different than these. I like these. I don't know. I might need to change that. The other thing I do want to do is this is dark oak. Again, like I said at the beginning of the episode, it's been 6 months since the last episode. And when you come back to a build and see it with fresh eyes after building it, it really does help, because you can look at it and be like, I should have used spruce, not dark oak, because it's just a little too contrasty, and it'll kind of blend it a bit better. Super excited for what we're going to do with the castle, by the way. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. I don't know if I should do it here. It might not make sense to put it on that mountain, but we might be putting it back on this mountain. That's another thing. We're going to do some terraforming. Y'all can probably tell I've been watching a lot of B-dubs. He has been really changing the game when it comes to terraforming, and it's something I really do struggle with. I'm very good on smaller scales. I'm really trying to push myself out of my comfort zone, basically. Trying to, I don't know, do things building-wise that I don't usually do, and seeing if I like them and if it works for me. So, but yeah, enough of me rambling. I also want to mention we do have a mending villager now. The little village, or the little trading hall we have down there. We have a mending villager, so that'll be very helpful to us. The point is, I need to get some resources together, and it's raining. I need to get some resources together to build this blacksmith house. We'll probably also put a fence around it too. I don't know. We'll see where I'm at. But let me go grab some resources, and basically, I'll just cut away now, and we'll have the time lapse, and I'll come back after to talk about the build. So without further ado, here's the time lapse. Look at that beautiful, beautiful build. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. Looks pretty good. I used a reference image for this build, so I'll put that on the screen. But I did take some creative liberties, to be honest. There is the fence here, which I did build on the fly, and then kind of just cluttered it with a lot of like barrels and anvils and mine carts and what have you. We need lava for this one, so I need to go find a lava source. But I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty good from all sides, and I almost said size. All sides. I mean, I like this little shape. I mean, it's not super particularly fancy with the roof. If you look, I kind of actually let it be more blocky here, which I'm fine with, because Minecraft's a block game, and it's a little bit tricky when you're trying to make things a little bit smoother. So sometimes you just have to be like, nah, it's not going to be smooth, and that's okay. So we got a lot of textures of brown. It's a lot different. Well, it's not a lot different than this other build over here. There is a lot more organization in terms of like lines of the build. So I don't know if like, I like this. I know I've been split about this all episode. It's so funny, but there's always something nice about having different builds in a little village here. So, I think it works. I think it works. I know this is a little bit different than that. But yeah, I think the plan will be, we'll build a garden house here at some point. And then I've been thinking about this a lot. We're going to make this little cove up here. kind of rounded about. We're going to put some mud brick in here as well between episodes too. I just want to get this episode out to you guys. It's been delayed for a while just because of how long it's taken me to take down this mountain. You also notice though that we have the coal here. It's very nice, just like strapped off, and then eventually probably what we'll do is we'll get like a little stack of maybe lapis, or I mean we could do diamonds depending on how rich we get in this world. But yeah, we'll like lead up here. I think the goal for next episode is to fight the end dragon. We need to find the end dragon, because I know I build a lot in this series, but I think it's an ideal idea to start progressing this world overall, because we need elytra, and it's going to make it so much easier building all this stuff, especially with this mountain and such. We do need to get a beacon as well, so it's lots of things are in the back of my head. It's just like coming up with ideas of what we should do for other episodes, just besides building, obviously. So but before we end the episode, I want to just give you guys an idea of what my plans are. I did talk about we're going to do like a little bit of a flower garden here, or a flower house kind of thing. But we're going to like gradually smooth out this terrain, make it a lot more naturalistic. We'll fix this behind the mountain here. I was thinking that I wanted to build the castle maybe here, but that doesn't make as much sense. I think it would be ideal. And I kind of realized this. Also, we have a zombie spawner. I didn't realize that. I'd made this like when you leave a world for 6 months, you forget that there are things here. So there's a zombie spawner here as well. But this view is great. It is old generation, but we will do some tweaking to it. But imagine I just flesh this out and make it a little bit flatter here, or not flatter, but like more mountainous in this general area, and then flatten the top off, and then just imagine castle there. Would look pretty cool if I don't say, I don't know what the expression is. If I don't say so myself, I think that's the right expression. Kind of failed at it, to be honest, but you get the idea. That's kind of my thought process of what's going on here. We did have a basement, underground base idea. That can still happen, for sure. It could be kind of like a grand hall. This could be like the underbelly of the castle. Because, you know, I've been playing a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom lately. And there is the lower levels of, like, where the ships are, right? Like, the harbor bays. And there's, like, kind of little bit of, like, armories and stuff. So we could do something like that. And it would make sense in terms of this. We have our storage here. I mean, I might make the storage a little bit bigger eventually at some point. But I like what we have over there. We could make a giant. I mean, we could keep the old storage room that's in there and then add another one to it as well. So, lots of ideas, lots of things in the works here. And I promise you, next episode will not be 7 months away. I know. This always happens. I keep saying I'm not going to, and then, you know, I end up starting another series. What happened, I think, between this episode and the last one was Resolute SMP started. So that was really why I just made majority of my focus on a lot of builds on there. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did realize that I have not at all used F5 in this whole episode. So you guys haven't been able to see my eyes blink this whole time. I have the I think it's just animations or just movement or whatever. I can't remember what the name of the mod is. It's a pretty fun mod though. It kind of gives life to our life to characters, which is pretty cool. So, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I did. I had a lot of fun with this one. It took me a little bit because, you know, the mountain takes a while to take down, especially when you don't have a beacon. So. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and I will see you guys in the next episode.